Hello everybody, it's Pina here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do these cute little summer flip-flops with this flower motif on the top, and I'm going to show you how to crochet around the rubber sort of straps here so that you can make it look a bit prettier. I'll show you what I used. I used these plain flip-flops. Literally just rubber flip-flops, very plain and cheap. You can get them for about £2 on Amazon, or £2.40 I think. If you're in the United States, I don't know how much they are, but they're pretty cheap everywhere. You can find them anywhere. So I got a pair of plain flip-flops like these, and then just decorated round the rubber bit here to give it a little pretty effect, you know. So this is what I'm going to show you how to make today. You're going to need your size of flip-flops of your choice, of course, and you're going to need some yarn. Now this yarn that I'm using today is cotton, 100% cotton. So this cotton yarn, I'll show you what colours I've used. Of course you can use any colour depending on your flip-flops. Well, for this tutorial I've used this 100% Patons cotton. I'm a great fan of this yarn. I think it's brilliant. It works up really well on most projects. You know, it's really nice and it's lovely, and it's got a slight sheen to it as well, which I like. So I'll put the colours in the description box below, but as far as I know, that one's white, that one's kiwi, and that's pink, but I'll give you the exact description of these and the make of this yarn. So pop that aside. So to start with, we're going to do this bit first, which is the frilly lacy sort of effect just around the rubber. As you can see, it's like a little lacy effect. It's quite pretty. And then of course I'm going to show you how to make the flower separately. So let's get started. I'll show you also what hook size to use and what else you're going to need. So I'll just pop them aside. And you'll need a pair of scissors. You'll need a size 3.5mm hook. There you go, 3.5. And you'll need, of course, a needle to sew in your ends at the end. There's not many ends to sew in, so don't worry too much, but you know, you'll need that anyway. So I'll just pop that there. So go ahead and grab your rubber flip-flop, and the first thing we're going to do is this edging first. Okay, so let's just get started on that, and that's the pink you're going to use. So grab your pink yarn, and for this you're just going to crochet all around this rubber bit, single crochet, and it's a bit tricky, but you get the hang of it after a while. It really is you know, a bit fiddly, but you know, it's not too bad. So grab your yarn, and first of all what you're going to do is you're going to tie it. So we're going to tie it on the very base of the flip-flop. So as you can see, there's the rubber, and you're going to go right to the very end, just here. Make sure you do, so that you coat the whole area with the yarn. Okay, so you cover it rather. So I'm going to get my yarn, leave a bit of a tail end, and then just tie it like so. Push it right down so that you don't have as far as you can go to the end. There you go. And I'm going to tie it again, a double knot, so it's secure. Okay, so that's all you need to do for that bit. Now you're going to weave that in with your crochet in this end, so it will keep it all very secure. Okay, so grab your hook. Go ahead and grab your hook, and this is what you do to start with. Okay, so we're going to go into the around the whole rubber rather by single crocheting. Okay, so for this you're going to do this. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see better. Right, so you get your hook and you get your yarn, and you just go underneath the rubber of the flip-flop, grab the yarn like so, and do a single crochet. So as you normally would, grab the yarn over, you can grab it and pull through. Okay, so now just pop that one right to the edge, because that's your very first one. Just lock it into the edge. Can you see? So that's your very first single crochet into the around the rubber rather. So I'm going to go in again, so I'm going to go underneath again like so, pull up a loop, leave it a little bit loose but not too loose because you still need it to be quite taut, and then do a single crochet and then just push it down as you go along, and make sure I'm just going to push it down. There you go, can you see? So as you go along, take your time doing this. As you go along, each single crochet, just put it down, push it down, but make sure it's level to the next one. Can you see? It's not overlapping. You want them as straight as possible, which means it's going to look like this. As you can see, no overlapping. It's just perfectly, you know, side by side. You're just going to put them side by side. Okay, so I'll carry on and show you how it goes. So again, keep it taut, fairly taut. Put your hook underneath the rubber, like so. Pull up a loop, loosen it a little bit, and then yarn over and pull through like you would do a normal single crochet. And again, just keep pulling it down, like so. It takes a bit of time. It doesn't take too long, but it does, you know, it takes a bit of patience. So just, again, single crochet, loosen the loop a little bit, but not too loose because you still want it to stay. And then you just, there you go, and then again next one, and then, you know, once you get going it's not too bad. So as you can see now, they are far apart, but don't worry, because what you do now, you just push them down like so. Try and push them as close together as you possibly can. Okay, so as you look, you can see how they are side by side, and they're right to the edge of the flip-flop rubber. So I'm going to keep going until we get to the point. So there we go. Let's put my hook back in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and oops, there we go. And then again, tucking away this yarn tail end at the same time. Yeah, so you make sure that tail end that you've began with is also, there it is, being tucked away. So you want to make sure of that. And if you do get a little bit of a twist, don't worry, because you can just straighten it with a needle. I'll show you how. So you just grab your needle and just lift it over like so. There you go. If you find that you're getting crisscrossed, right, so I'm just going to push that further down like that. I'll do a few more and then I'll let you carry on with this until we get to the point of the flip-flop, and then I'll show you what to do from there. So I'm just going to put my yarn there, and I'm going to put my tail end again underneath, and then again single crochet as normal, pulling up a little bit of the loop, not too loose, tight enough so that you can go through it again, and then underneath, grab your loop, do a single crochet underneath, and do a single crochet. Okay, I'm doing it very slowly so that it's neat. You don't want to rush it. You want to do it really slowly so you get this really nice, you see, neatness going on there. So continue doing that all the way down to the point. I'll do a few more and then I'll let you do it yourself. And then you can see, you see, just pop your hook underneath, grab your loop, and then do a single crochet. again underneath, grab your loop, single crochet. You might have to twist your wrist in a certain way to do this. There we go. And there you go. So go ahead and do that all the way, and as you go along, make sure you push this down like so. And if you do it as you go along, it's not so difficult. You don't want to leave it till the end, because then it's going to be complicated. It's better as you go along to just push everything down, all the yarn strands, whatever you call them, and then that way you know they are nice and neat. Okay, so go ahead, and I'll meet you when you get to the point of your flip-flop, but make sure you do right to the very end. Okay, so I've come to the end of this the first side, and what you do is when you finish this bit here, you just twist it over a little bit so that the single crochet stitches are on the edge of the rubber bit of the flip-flop. So just keep turning it like this. That's it, and that's how it should look. So now we've come to the point now. So for the point, we're going to do this. We're going to just quickly get your yarn as it was, so as I finished off. So put my hook back in, tighten that up. So I'm going to go back in again and go under, and I'm going to pull up a loop like usual, straighten it up as you can see, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through. Okay, so I'm nearing the edge, so what I'm going to do is go a bit more nearer to the edge, because we want it as far as we can to this point. Yeah, so we need to fill in as much as we can, not overspilling with the yarn, but you know, neatly doing it. So there we go. So just pull through and make sure your yarn is tight enough as well. You don't want it loose, and pull through those two loops. Okay, so I think I can squeeze in maybe a couple more. Let's just see. There we go. Make sure it is a bit tricky, but it can be done. So there you go, and I'm going to do one more, I think. Let's have a look and make sure it's nice and straight. Just going to check. Yeah, I think that should be enough. So now that you've done enough there, that's my tail end coming out of there. Just give that a snip. Okay, so now that you've done that, you can see that we need to cross over now to the other side. So in order to do that, we need to chain one first. So put your hook back in and chain one. So let's chain one. Okay, so that helps you cross over to the other side. Now what we do now, we just turn the work like this, and we're going to put our hook back in and do the same again, single crochet. So single crochet, there you go, just done the first one. So now you can see it's come to a point because you've done that chain one, and now you can go work your way up the other side. So I'll do a little bit of the other side so you can see how it's done. So I'm just going to grab a bit of the yarn, level it off, and just grab some more of this. Make sure it's straight, and then single crochet as usual. Again, single crochet, single crochet. Of course, if you're using a bigger, thicker yarn, you can always use a thicker hook, but I find it's easier with this smaller hook. So just spread them out nicely so this is not going to show too much because you're going to have your flower on there, but still make sure it's pretty straight, because we're going to do the next round into these single crochets. So let's grab some more single crochet, single crochet, single crochet. Okay, just push that down so that they are close together. There you go. Use your nails for that bit. Okay, now there's no specific number of how many single crochets you do in a cross here. It's just enough to cover it, you see, so it's not important how many that you do, but as long as you're covering the rubber bit, that's the main thing. So let's go into the next one. Single crochet. Okay, so there we go. So I'm just going to push that down so it's covering. And if you're finding anything's overlapping, just use your needle and just straighten it up like that. It's quite easy. So go ahead and now do the rest of your this side single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end and show you what to do next for the next round. Okay, so I've come to the other side and I'm just going to do my final few sort of single crochets around the rubber. I just wanted to mention I've got this flip-flops with it's got this kind of rubber here which is very grippy. If you can get one of these, it's even better. I've got grips on this one so that the yarn won't come away or fall down or slip around. It grips it really well, so every single crochet that goes over is kind of gripped by the rubber. So if you can get one of these, that's even better, but you don't have to, it's not essential. So I'm just on my last bit here, the last bit, just that bit there. So I'm just going to do a few more rounds into there. Okay, this is a tricky part where you seem to, it's a bit fiddly, you just got to get underneath as much as you can, but there you go. And just put your hook there, grab your yarn, and sorry, there we go, and then pull through, single crochet, there you go. It's easier if you've got this on your lap, you can actually get a better grip of the sandal or flip-flop while you're doing it. So it may look hard because I'm doing it on camera, but on your lap when you're crocheting it's much easier. So there you go, just going to push that in, get as close as you can towards the end, this bit here. There we go, and then maybe one or two more might be fine. Let's get that through somehow. Right. Okay, I'm just going to pull that through. I think that's my final one. And what we're going to do is, we finished this first row because we're doing the second row. So now we're actually going to cut off the yarn. And even though we're using the same colour, we're still cutting off the yarn because we are going to start on this side because we want the lacy bit to be the right side up and not the other side. If we work from that side, it'll be the wrong side up. So I'm going to work from this side again, but in order to do that, we're cutting off from here because we can't join this way. So I'm just going to pull my yarn through like so, just grab a bit of the tail end, which you're going to sew in afterwards. So I'm just going to take that off and tighten that up. There you are. So that's that bit done. Just going to straighten that. Okay, so there you go. So that's your first row. You could even leave it like that if you wanted. It's still quite pretty, just like that. But I'm going to do the next row, which is on the other side. Now I'm going to tie this end in first because it just takes that out of the way. So what I'm going to do for that, I'm just going to grab my needle and thread it through. And then I'm just going to tie, just literally sew it in, but I would sew it in probably underneath where it's not going to show. So I'm just going to go through there like so. If you can get underneath, yeah. So make sure your yarn is hidden away. You don't want this part to show because this part is just the underneath bit. Give it a tug all the way through. Okay, so then you can go back again, not tugging it too tight, just gently, and then you can just snip off. I'm just going to snip off that tail end. There we go. So that's the first bit of your flip-flop. So we're going to start on this side again. So for that, we're going to need our yarn again, our pink yarn. Okay, so what you're going to do now, we're going to attach our same colour yarn into the very first, just here, single crochet, the very first single crochet, if I show you there, just there. Okay, I'm going to attach my first yarn there, first bit of yarn. So just grab it, pull up a loop through there, chain one, leave a tail end of course because we're going to sew it in later, chain one, tighten it up, into the same stitch another single a single crochet into that same stitch that you've chained one, single crochet. Now you want to pull that tight a bit. If it gets loose, just give it a little tug. There you go. So now I'm going to do another single crochet into the next stitch next to that one, the next single crochet stitch just there, another single crochet. So that's 2 single crochets to start your round. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a tug. Right, so you've done your first 2 single crochets. Okay, so you're going into these single crochets basically. Now what I'm going to do next is, I'm just going to straighten that so it's, yeah, that's fine. So now what we need to do is we're going to chain 4. So the sequence on this here now is chain 4 and skip 4, single crochet into the 5th one, chain 4, skip 4. That's what we're doing all the way along until we get to the just before your corner, the points rather, just before the point, then I'll tell you what to do. So let's get started with the chain 4 from here. So chain 4 from here. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Skip 4. So you have to see how many single crochets. They're very difficult to see if they're small, but you can see them. What it is, I'll get my needle and show you. So you've just chained 4, skip 4. So that's just come out of there, so you don't want to do that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. And into the 5th one, you do a single crochet. So we're going to go into that 5th one now and do a single crochet. So grab your hook and stick it into the 5th. There you go. Now like I said, if that gets too tight, you can use a smaller hook. Right, so I'll show you how it goes. So for the tutorial purposes, I'll use the smaller hook so that you can, so that's a single crochet into that one, and then just what you do is, there you go, then chain 4 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 4, I'll show you. So we're skipping 4 now, so that's that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th one we're going to do a single crochet. Put your hook in, do a single crochet. Okay, so you're seeing the pattern develop here. So what you've got there, you've got your little scalloped sort of edges, and then we're gonna, the next round is actually going to work into these chains. So chain 4 again, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and find your 5th stitch which you need to slip into. So you skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th one, that's the 5th stitch. We're going to go into that one and do our single crochet. There we go. That's our single crochet. Chain 4 again. 1, 2, oops, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then skip 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th one just there I'm going to put my single crochet. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and skip 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th one just there, single crochet. There we go. So you've got this effect coming on. So that's what it should look like. Now, because you just got to use your discretion when you get to the corner, because we're going to do a chain 5 in the corner as opposed to a chain 4, because this is a bit of a wider space. So keep going until the end there. Make sure you've got enough space for that corner, but I'll show you what to do when we get there anyway. But let's go on with the chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th one, single crochet. So if your stitches are loose, you won't need a smaller hook, but I've made mine pretty tight. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, skip 4. So skip 4, let's just skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th one, which is just there. I'm going to put my hook in and do a single crochet. And 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and then skip 4. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th one just there. I'm going to put my single crochet. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then skip 4. So let's skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th one I'm going to do my single crochet. Okay, so just how it looks so far. So we've got all of them evenly spread out, you see? It's all evenly spread out. Now we're going to go to this, nearing the corner now. So here I'm going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, Now you've got to use your discretion where you want your last one to go before we do the chain 5 in this corner here. So I think I can do another skip of 4. I think I can skip 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the 5th one I can do a single crochet. That should work okay. So right, now I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we're at this corner bit here. So if I just show you what I mean. So basically we're at the corner, so we want 5 because I want that to be a little bit bigger than the others, and so that works out pretty well. So as you can see, I've got my chain 5, and then I'm going to skip probably about, just to get it in the center, I'll probably skip about, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one again. So yes, it works out pretty well. I mean, use your own discretion. Depends how many of these you've done, is how many you get of these, and how you can fit this chain 5 in. So my one's working quite well actually. So I'm going to carry on. I've done a chain 5 here, and here we go. Just put my hook back in, and I'm going to skip 4 again. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th one, which is just there, I'm going to do my next single crochet. So now that's sitting. Of course you can maneuver things around because they're still quite movable. That's where that's sitting at the moment, at the point. Or you could do it, if you didn't want to do it, if you want to do it a little bit more, I did it in the chain in the 5th single crochet, but we can do it in the 4th if you want it more pointed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can do it into there if you want, rather than in the 5th, and this is what effect it will give. There you go. So it's given a more pointed effect, you see. So, you know, use your discretion on that one. So I've skipped literally 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th one I've done a single crochet. So now that's now positioned just there where I want it. So let's go ahead and do the rest. So now we're working around the other side, so I'm going to chain 4 again. So let's turn the sandal, and 1, 2, 3 and 4, okay, and then skip 4, do the same thing again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, into the 5th one, do your single crochet, and there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, into the 5th one, so skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one, I'm doing my single crochet, okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, go into there, single crochet, skip, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, just there, chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there, into the 5th single crochet, chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, into the 5th one, just there. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. Oops, just do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, into the 5th single crochet, we're going to single crochet. One, 2, 3 and 4, and then skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5th one, single crochet. Now because we come to the end, nearer the end here, I'm just going to see what we need. So there might be just one more chain 4, skip 4 space, so I'm just going to show you. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we've got our point 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't matter if you've got more on that side than that side, because the way the rubber is made is slightly different on both sides, as you can see, because it comes to the shape of the foot. So you're going to have more on the left hand side than you are on the inner side of your flip-flop. So you should have like 10 here and 9 there, or one extra more than that side. Should work out that way. So, but don't worry if it doesn't. It's as long as they look evened out. So now I can do one more, I think. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've done my chain 4 and I should skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to put my hook just into there, into the there we go, and single crochet. This one's a bit tight, but it'll come through. There you go. And then I'm just going to do my last single crochet. Now I'm now going to get, this is at the end, and I've got 2 single crochets left, luckily enough. If not, then you just make sure you have 2 left at the bottom, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets into the last stitch. So that's 1, oops, 1, and then 2. That's my second one just there. I'm just going to do that, and then that's completed. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just pull that off, and I'm going to see, you can see how it is now. So you've got your 2 single crochets where you started, 2 single crochets at the very end as well. So I'm just going to snip that off now, because I'm going to snip that off now. So I'm just going to snip that off now, because now we're going back to working on the other side of the sandal, and that means we need to go over here again. So to get it on the right side up again, we snip this off, leave a tail end, so you're going to sew it all in. Okay, so now we've got these 2 tail ends, which we're just going to do, sew them in, and then we're going to start again for the next round, which is working into these loops, these chain spaces. Okay, so go ahead and, just as I did before, sew these tail ends in before we do the next round, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, so I've done it, I've tied my ends in, and this has actually worked out really good, because even this other one's got 10 on this side and 9 on that side. It's just the way the shoe is shaped, and it managed to have 10 here and 9 there, and 10 here and 9 there. So that's how it should work out, really. But if it doesn't work that way, it's not a problem, as long as they're evenly spaced out. Now that's the first bit of the scallop bit. Now we're going to do the next round, which is we're going to work into these chain 4 spaces. We're going to do single crochets into every single one of those, which is 4 single crochets, and then at the point we're doing 5 into that, and that's all we're doing for this round. You can either leave it like this, again it looks pretty like this, or you can add another colour through the loops. If you're going to leave it like this, then cut your yarn off and leave it like this if you want to, but I'm now going to join again the same colour, because I want to continue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook into the first single crochet that left off with. So I'm going to just put my hook into there. Now you can use your smaller hook just for this bit here. So I'm going to use my smaller hook just to get in, and then I'm going to grab my yarn, pull it through. Okay, and I'm starting on this side, have you noticed, this time, because we want it the right way up. We want it the right side up. You know, it looks much better. I'll show you. So basically, this is the right side up and this is the wrong side. It doesn't really matter, but I prefer it that way because I think it looks better that way. So for that, you need to start on this side as opposed to the other side. So I've just pulled my yarn through. We're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch. So chain 1, single crochet back into that same stitch, and single crochet into the next single crochet, the second one that's there, and do a single crochet. So there you go. So that's nice and neat. Now you've got that the started bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew these in at the end, but we're going to do 4 single crochets into these 4 chain space. Now I'm going to change my hook to the 3.5mm because I don't need it to be small, because this is easy to get into these chain 4 spaces. So leave that tail end to be sewn in at the end. I'm just going to put that down, and we're going to go into each 4 chain space and do 4 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then jump over to the next one and do 4 as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next one, 4 single crochets again. Keep going all the way. All of these chain 4 spaces, you do 4 single crochets. Three and 4. So you need to do all of these until you get to the 5th chain space, which is just at the point of the flip-flop here, and then you do 5 into there. So do one more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so continue, and I'll meet you when you get to the point, and then we'll work our way down the other side. Okay, so we've come to the end of this side, and we've come to the point, and that point has got the chain 5 there. So we're going to do 5 single crochets into there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the only one you do 5 in, because that's the one that's going to be more pointed than the rest. So again, work your way down this end, this side. One, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, so that's what it's supposed to look like when you've done, just pull them aside, there you go. So carry on and do the rest of this side, 4 single crochets in every chain 4 space until you get to the very end, and I'll show you how to finish off this round. Okay, so here we are, we've done this other side, and here we finished off with our 4 single crochets. I've just lost one there, so I'll just do it again. So 4 single crochets into that last bit there, and we're going to now do 2 single crochets into our last 2 single crochets there. So I'm going to insert my hook with the smaller hook again. It just makes it easier. You don't have to, but you know. So I'm just going to do my 2 single crochets into there, 1 and 2. Okay, so now we're just going to just pull it out and snip it off. You don't do anything else because we're going to sew that in. We're going to sew that in this way, so it's going to be a nice rounded shape. So that's what we're going to do. So there you are, that's your round of single crochets into the 4 chains. Now that's almost finished, but I'm going to tie my ends in first because I think I like to do that as I go along, and then I'll meet you right back to make the flower motif for the front. Okay, so it's almost finished, and I've tied in my ends, so you can see how pretty that looks. It's nice and neat, and it's really pretty. You can even leave it like this. I was debating whether to leave it like this or to add more to it. So now we're going to do our flower motif, which is the 3 colours and 3 sizes put together. That's all this is. It's just 3 of the same flower, but different sizes of it. Then I joined it together, and then I stuck it with some hot glue onto the front of it. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to show you how to make that. We're going to start with the pink colour. That's the centre panel, and then of course we've got the white and the green as well to go with it to make the flower. So let's get started with the pink. For this, just grab your pink yarn, and I'm going to get my 3.5mm hook as before. And now what we're going to do a magic ring. So I don't know if you're familiar with a magic ring, but just grab your yarn, put your yarn over like that so it's crossed over, okay, like this, and then get your hook and go underneath, pull up a loop, let go, and then just lock that into place, do a chain. So that's your magic ring to start with. So now that you've done that, we're going to do another chain because that counts as a chain 2 now. So we've got a chain 2 to start with outside your magic ring. Okay, now we're going to double crochet 2 because we want to make the flower, and we're going to make it with 5 petals. I'll just show you there. It's got 5 petals. So that's our chain 2, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 1, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, that's 2. Okay, then we chain 2 again, 1, 2, and we slip stitch into the ring. Okay, we chain 2 again, 1, 2, and double crochet again, 2 into the ring, 1 and 2. Okay, so next we're going to do chain 2 again, 1, 2, slip stitch into the ring, chain 2, 1, 2, pull it over, and double crochet 2, 1 and 2. Now we've got 3 petals. Now we need 2 more petals to make 5. Okay, so again we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, slip stitch into the ring, chain 2, 1, 2, and double crochet 2, 1 and 2, and then chain 2, 1 and 2, yarn over and slip stitch into the ring, chain 2, 1, 2, and we're on our 5th petal, so do 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now that you've chained 2, you're going to pull this shut, the tail end. You're going to pull it tight so it pulls the flower together. So you've got your flower in one piece. Now that you've pulled that tight, you can now slip stitch into the magic ring and just do a slip stitch, and that will join the petals together. There you go. And then you can just, what you can do is cut off your ends and then just give it a tug, and that is your flower complete, you see. And then you've got the tail ends at the back, which you can pull it tight if you want, and I'm just going to pull it a little bit tighter so that the hole closes. There we go. And then you keep these tail ends for now, because I'll show you what to do with them afterwards. So that's your very first 5 petals, smaller flower in the center flower. So I'll pop that aside, and we're going to do the second flower, which is slightly bigger, and that is the white one. So I'm going to grab my white yarn, and it's pretty much the same, more or less. So I'm going to do my magic ring again. Grab your, that's right, and then this time we're going to chain 3, not 2. So 1, 2 and 3 from the magic ring. So that's 3. And now we're going to do a treble crochet. So treble crochet is yarn over twice, and we're going to do 2 of those. So that's pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2 again, yarn over twice into the magic ring, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the ring, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, pull the petal over so it's, there you go, and then yarn over twice onto the hook and into the magic ring, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2 and pull through 2 again, yarn over twice into the ring, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, so now we're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the ring, pull that over so it's sitting together, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over twice into the ring, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, twice into the ring, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the ring. So you formed your 3 petals now. So again, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a treble crochet into the ring, treble crochet 1 and another treble crochet into the ring. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do the chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into the ring, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 trebles into the ring, 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then just close this up, and you've got 5 petals now. So I'm going to do my slip stitch into the ring, and then that's right, and then you just pull this tight, the tail end, you can pull it tighter. Okay, so that's finished. And now what we do is we just chain 1 and just tie off basically, and snip it off. So I'm just going to pull that tight as well. So now your petals and then the back tail end at the back is all together. As you can see, it's nice and neat. So this little flower will go into the center of the white flower. Okay, so that's the second petal, group of petals. The third is what I call the leaves of the flower. So I'm going to make that one now. I'll show you how to make that one, the green. So grab your green yarn and this one's going to be even bigger, slightly bigger than the other two. Again, do your magic ring. And we're going to chain up 4 from here this time. So I'm just going to chain up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're doing a double treble here. So for this, we're doing 2 of those. We're going to yarn over 2 times, 3 times. Insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. Okay, now we're going to do it again. Just going to pull this a little bit tight. We're going to do a double treble again. So that's yarn over 1, 2, 3 times. Insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the ring. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over 3 times onto your hook and do your double treble, 2 of those, 1 and 2. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and slip stitch into the ring. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again do your double trebles into that ring. Oops. And chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and slip stitch into the ring. Now as you go along, you need to pull, make sure they shift along so your petals are close together. So that's what your leaves, petal leaves, are going to look like with the double treble. So continue this one as the same principle as the other ones, but with chain 4 and double trebles, 2 double trebles, and then chain 4, and then slip stitch in between as well. So carry on just like you did with the other ones with double trebles, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, so I've done my 3 sizes of petals, and I'm going to grab my needle now and show you what to do next. So we're going to grab each of the 3 colours, and we're going to start with the pink because that's the middle one. I'm going to thread my yarn, my two layers of yarn. I'm going to just trim them so they're equal. It don't have to be equal, but it works out best. So I'm going to put my yarn through the needle like so. Okay, now I'm going to put my white one, put it through my white one. Okay, and then from there we're going to thread all of that through the green. You might need a bigger needle for that. I've got a bigger one here, or you can just do it one by, bit by bit, but I'm going to thread it through there, and I'm going to thread it through the green, as you can see, the green one now. So pull that through and then just let go. Now, and there's a reason why I'm doing it this way. It's just to secure it. So now you just rearrange your petals. I like mine done, pull it tight first of all, that they're all tightly, you know, together. You don't want any gaps or any loose, you know, you don't want it loose. So I'm going to do mine where it's kind of like this, and then I'm going to alternate the colours so the petals are in between each of the other petals. Do you see what I mean? It's the white petals are in between the green petals, and then the pink is like, it doesn't have to be this way, but this is how I've done it. So you can do it any way you want. I'm doing it this way. So just going to, yeah, there we go. So that will go like that, and that will go like this, and that will, there we go. So can you see what it looks like now? It's kind of like, so it stands out. So I've got the petal in between the two whites, the green in between the two white petals. Then I've got the pink in between the pink petals, sorry, in between the two white petals. So it just gives it that little effect. You don't have to do it that way, but it just looks a lot nicer. Once you've got that in place, how you want it, the exact position you want it to be in, and you're happy with that, then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it over like so. And what we're going to do, we're going to tie it really tight to like this. Get your finger and do a knot right to the end of the flower there. So do a knot, a tight knot, and I'm going to just pull it through, all the strands through like this. Let's do it again. Right. So you need to do a really tight knot basically. As tight as you can do it. There you go. Get your fingers in. There we go. So now I'm going to pull it really to the very end because I want this to keep the flower together. There you go. So that's all you do. You make a knot with all these strands, and it is pretty tight. You can glue it together if you feel like you want to glue it together, you can do. But because I'm gluing this to the sandal, to the flip-flop, I'm going to not put glue because, you know, less glue the better, I guess. So I'm going to just fiddle around again with it, make sure it's in place how I want it, you know, play around with it, make sure you can add more, you can add a bit of glue if you feel like it's not staying, but it's pretty okay. I find it's okay once it's on the slipper, it's fine. So that's fine. Now what you do is you get your scissors and you cut off a little bit more till it's really short. Now that is going to help with sticking to the shoe as well. So that's how I've done it, so that it's secure enough. So there's your flower. It's a pretty little flower. Okay, so I'm going to grab my sandal or my flip-flop, whichever you're using, and I'm going to stick that onto the front of this flip-flop, and it's going to go about there. That's where I want it. So I'll show you if it matches the other one. Of course, try and make it match. If you're going to have two, you're going to obviously want them to be almost identical. So I'm just going to do it to the point where it's sitting about the same way. Okay, so that's how I want this one to be. So I'm going to get my hot glue, my glue gun, and I'm going to stick that on the back of the flower. So grab the back of your flower and put a bit of glue on it. Put some in the middle and just not too much. You don't want to go too mad with the glue. A blob of glue would be fine. That'll be fine. Okay, so I've got my glue gun and I'm going to turn that over and then stick that down like this, just in the middle there, just in the center. You see, it's just above the lacy bit. It's not on the lace, the little lacy bit, it's just on the bridge, just here. So I'm just going to, you know, press that down for a bit until it's fully stuck. And then you can rearrange the petals as well while you're there. And there you are. There you have it. There's your flip-flop. And of course, go ahead and make the second one exactly the same. So when you've got, this is one from my other pair. So there you go, that's the set. When you've made two of them, that's how they look. And they're absolutely really beautiful. You can make any colour really. I've used this pink, but if you've got flip-flops of a different colour, you can always use the same colour as a flip-flop that you've got. But yes, but this is how the sandal looks. So that's how your sandal looks, or your flip-flop, whichever you're using. And it is, you can use any colour you want. You can make it blue, pink, green, any colour you want, depending on your flip-flop, what colour your flip-flop is. Match the base of your flip-flop. And I think that's really, really, really cute. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video tutorial, and I hope you make this for summer, for a gift for someone, even a little girl. It's very girly. You can make that as a gift. And yeah, I hope you come back for some more of my videos. Please like and subscribe. Let me know how you got on. If you've made a pair of these sandals, just let me know how you got on. And yeah, I'll see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye.